Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, you guys. This is a labor of love, so I really appreciate you supporting me, reaching out, hitting that like button, hitting that notification, commenting, any way you do this energy exchange, getting a reading from me. Thank you so much, and thank you to my new subscribers. This reading is inspired by our last short, which was very popular about your person. So I thought, why not do just a channeled message today? So we have 3 piles. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. This tarot deck escapes me. So some of my other pick-a-piles, if you've been here before, it's just a card and then we kind of get into it with a bunch of oracles. Today's going to be a little different. I'm going to use multiple cards from the whole deck. We'll still clarify with oracles, but you'll get a greater sense, especially if you like reading yourself, what this deck is like and kind of the tonality of the atmosphere behind the messages. It gives you, I don't know, just a greater feel for the person you're asking about. Can't remember the name of this, but we have a fluorite lightning bolt. Pile 2 here, this is the Phantom Tarot, and I haven't used many of these decks either, so this is kind of cool. We're kind of going in blind. We have the Sodalite Star, and then this one is a dystopian deck called the Neon Moon Tarot, and we have a piece of opalite in the shape of a coffin, so I can already feel it's going to be a very juicy reading. So go ahead and drop down into your body. If you need a little help, I always recommend closing the eyes, taking a couple of deep breaths, and then when you open them, the pile that jumps out at you is the pile of your choice. We'll go into a little bit of clarification as to who you're asking about, so you can make sure that this is the right one for you. But just take the messages as they resonate. If you've chosen a pile, most likely there's something in there for you, okay? And of course, it's always okay to choose more than one pile as well. So I'm going to give you a second to do that, and I will see you on the other side. Hi, Pile 1, and welcome to your reading. Thank you so much if you're a new subscriber. I've listed all of my readings below, so if this resonates with you and you want a personal reading, there's many ways to do this. My Etsy shop is probably the most affordable, and I have a really popular reading on there about sensual messages this person would say to you, because I recently ran into an issue with YouTube and they will not let me do any of my sensual messages readings on here anymore, or at least I'm afraid to, because I don't want to be shadow banned. So let's just clarify here who this person is that you may be inquiring about. Ooh. And then I will get into these messages. So our first card here says busty chest. So you or the person that you are inquiring about may be well endowed in this way. Also, I feel like this person, if that doesn't resonate, might be spiritual or stepping into spirituality. They could even be a yoga instructor or just somebody that really resonates. Maybe they go to yoga with, you know, incorporating more mindfulness into their life. What else do I have here? I have coarse curly hair, so that could definitely be a feature. This person could be very beautiful. Or this person could be, I'm getting a download like, maybe this person is different from you in some way. This is also giving me twin flame vibes, so I don't know if that resonates. That might be that person. And then we have mature. So this person could be older than you. They could be the opposite sex or same sex. And again, like, we still have that spiritual bent. So like, I feel like this person really is studying spirituality. Maybe they're studying to be a yoga instructor. Maybe they went to India. Like, they're really serious about this. They want to improve themselves and improve the world around them. And then on the bottom here we have skinny. So interesting. So either you or this person has a thin, perhaps athletic build. I also see you could be in an environment where there are a lot of fields or open sky, or you're just really in touch with nature. Again, we have the sea in the background here, gives me California, living on the sea coast. So that's your clarifier here for this pile. And don't worry if it doesn't completely resonate. Again, like, give the messages a chance, but you'll know. You'll know if this is your pile when the messages come pouring in. Okay. So we're going to take a look at what this person wants to say, how they feel. Ooh, excuse me if you can hear my stomach growling. So our first card here is the Five of Wands reverse. And because I've never seen this deck before, this is so interesting. The Five of Wands is usually a very contentious card, and here it looks like, well, in the upright position, that people are trying to cooperate. We have the King of Cups in reverse. This is beautiful. And then again, I'm just getting like this yoga aesthetic vibe. Really interesting. We have the Ace of Wands here. Let's keep going. What do they want to say? And then we have the Ten of Swords. Really interesting. And I'm just going to go ahead and clarify these cards with more cards from this deck. So, the Five of Wands in reverse is clarified here by the Three of Swords. Yeah, you guys, I am getting, this is like an ex or breakup vibes. The King of Cups in reverse is clarified by the Seven of Pentacles. Wow, the Ace of Wands is clarified by the Nine of Cups. I see this person wants a new start with you. They definitely think you're going to be happier the second time around. And then the Ten of Swords is clarified by the Six of Wands in reverse. And we have Temperance on the bottom, actually. And I'll show you this. Really interesting. So, first of all, I just need to know, like, how does this person, like, think of you? We got a whole swath of cards going on. Yep, look. No matter how far I try to get from the twin flame readings, there's always somebody on my channel where it's like, this is your situation and this is the vibe that, Spirit wants to read for you. So whoever you're out there, this is kind of amazing. So if you're new and you are twin flame, I do twin flame readings. I do 2 of them, actually. Divine Masculine Speaks, and it's similar to this one, but it's not like directly channeled messages. It's like how they're feeling, how they think about you, and then, are they going to come towards you? What's happening next? And then the other one is a general, like, what the masculine is doing, what the feminine is doing, and, like, it's more for, like, the general collective. These messages today are going to be a bit more direct. So the Five of Wands in reverse and the Three of Swords here. This person is telling you that they miss you, like, completely. It rained recently wherever this person is, and there's something about rain or water that reminds them of you. You might be a water sign, or like you had a really magical date in the rain or something. That might be just be a specific message for somebody, but there's also this sense that this person is telling themselves and you now, like, I wounded myself. It was like you dropped these knowledge bombs. You may have told this person, like, how they are. You might have read them. And instead of being transformed, transfixed, enchanted, enlightened, they wounded themselves with them. they felt rejected. That's what it is. This person is an avoidant personality. This is somebody who you might have felt was playing games with you, but in reality, they kind of see every moment as a test, which is really not a way to live. But don't worry, because the Ten of Swords here indicates that they've realized this, and what they really want is this freedom. Maybe they're a performer. Maybe they're somebody who has lapsed the time spent in their creative roots. And they recognize that in order to be with you and in order to be the fullest extent of themselves, they have to embrace failing. They have to embrace what feels like rejection. They have to heal the wound as well. And this is why Temperance is on the bottom here. Temperance just kind of feels like where you guys are going. These two cups that are so full, they can not only give to each other, but it will be infinitely this way. It will never run dry. So this person, if you fought with them in the past, they are recognizing their role in that. They're taking responsibility and accountability, or at least they want to, and they realize that they cannot cooperate with you unless they kind of recognize their shortcomings or recognize that things feel the way they feel sometimes because of their wounding, and that this might not be your intention, you know? So then the King of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. This person is working towards this goal of steadily coming back. They want to come back as a new person. They want to show you, metaphorically, like this new garden they have created in themselves. I think this person wants to be a better listener. You know, the King of Cups is somebody who is so in touch with themselves that they are so centered, and they allow room for otherness. And I think that when you look at twin flame connections, that's what you're really talking about, is otherness. You guys are so different, but you're so similar on an energetic level. So the outer of you is different. The inside is very similar. And you may be, you're here reading this tarot reading with me, so you're a spiritual person. So this is like kind of a connection where it's like the sun and the moon. You kind of embody these forces that make the universe go round. And, the King of Cups is somebody who's fair and who isn't judgmental, or at least doesn't sit there. We have more water. Person could be a water sign. You could be a water sign. So that's kind of where they are striving to get to. And they're basically saying, like, I recognize the work that I have to do and the person that I want to be. And then we have the Ace of Wands and the Nine of Cups. That's like really self-explanatory. The Ace of Wands is a new start. And I think that what this person has realized is, like, there was a part of them that they buried. And that's why I say creativity, because the Wands is usually either a business venture, a creative venture, something they're passionate about, something that they want to grow. And it feels like they were cut off from a piece of themselves. Like maybe they came from a family where they went from one status to another and then finally like had to become the breadwinner and put their dreams on the back burner. And you've made them realize like they are a dreamer and they want to dream, and maybe you're different from each other. Maybe you are, from a wealthier circumstance. Maybe you haven't had to struggle as much in the same way. And I kind of feel that with this Nine of Cups here. Like they feel like you're a little bit of a princess maybe, but that why shouldn't everybody get to live that way, and that we can create our own luxuries depending on what we like and what's available to us. So I think that's the lesson that they're kind of learning from you, and instead of begrudging you for it, they're like, how can I bring more of that into my life? And creativity, I think, is a big pull. Yeah, let's keep going. Okay, just because since we know now this is a twin flame reading, I want to use my Oracle Messages deck. This will be a little bit more direct. If you saw the short, then this is the deck that I used there. We will be together again. You know, I'm picking up a little bit of arrogance from this person, to be honest. Like, it feels to me like this avoidant person may have created a situation where it's so easy for them to be like, yeah, we'll be together again because it's on my terms. But I encourage you not to think about it that way, because this person really does need some time to like get things together, and they don't want you to see that part of their messy process. Like, they feel they already judge themselves so harshly. Like, they don't want you necessarily to do that as well. So give this person a little bit of grace. You know, I think they are doing this for you, basically. They're doing this for them, but they're doing this in the spirit of bringing something as fruitful to the connection. So just let them kind of have their time. And then we have, your intensity frightens and allures me all the same. Yeah, that's definitely typical of these connections. I feel like maybe you have Scorpio. Scorpio is a pretty intense water sign. I'm just going to put this here in your chart somewhere. And I also get that you're somebody that really likes to bond and maybe even cling a little. Again, opposites attract. Like, if you have that anxious attachment style, you're going to be like catnip to this person. Being apart has changed my life, been life-changing for me. So yeah, it does feel like you've been in sort of a separation, and it doesn't matter who caused it. All that matters is that both people are working towards what will reunite them again. And then we have, I know you're right, but I need to come to my own conclusions. So yeah, I would not message this person. I would not push them, honestly, before they're ready. I think a lot of the times we kind of make that mistake, myself included, because we want to see if that person feels the same way that we do, even though we're not physically in each other's, atmospheres at the moment. And I think you've got to trust the energetic 5D. Trust the signs that you're getting from the universe. Like, if this is your pile, you will know. It will be undeniable. There's no questioning this. You've already gone through your dark night of the soul, or will very quickly. You've gotten the signs and the synchronicities. For somebody out there, this message is just like, trust yourself. Like, and trust that this person also realizes everything that you've realized. It's a mirror connection. So, ooh, that's just something out there for someone. And then on the bottom, there's something is still missing, and I'm trying to figure out what that is. And so for a lot of these people, it's like, what kinds of creative things will give me joy? How do I incorporate more joy into my life? These are not questions that are built into our educational system. We go to school to work, and then work kind of robs us of who we are, because we are thinking and doing for someone else. So again, the name of the game here is patience. Give this person some time. As far as like whether or not they will return, I mean, obviously we have a card that says we will be together again, but I wouldn't expect to hear from this person anytime soon. In fact, I can pull you a card from one of my timing decks. But I will say that you should probably start to feel a shift next month. So if you do anything for Beltane, which is a fire festival, it has Gaelic or Celtic roots. This is something, I would probably do for like a little ritual, is to write down some things that you want to come into your life, or things that you want to release, and burn it. And that just kind of solidifies that intention. And you could do that within respect to this relationship as well. Just to kind of help clear out the clutter, and also like cord cut in a healthy way. Cord cutting doesn't mean that you are banishing somebody from your life. It's the negative attachments and the strings that you still have either for former partners or this person to kind of usher in the new in a really, really healthy way. And then our last message here says, tomorrow looks promising. So like, guys, I'm so happy for you. Like, it's coming, and I bet you can feel that anticipation as well. 19 breaks down to a 10, which breaks down to a 1. 10 is beginnings and endings. 1 is definitely a new beginning. And then we have 6 here. So don't fear, like this person is definitely thinking of you. They get nostalgic about the things that you've already done, but they're really, really working towards this temperance. And at the seat of temperance is this beautiful purple color. It almost looks like the Milky Way in her dress, where intuition, so we have a couple of themes, intuition, patience, compassion, that both of you are kind of going through right now. And if you do that, it should be smooth sailing from here on out. So that is what I have for you. I hope you enjoy your reading. Again, if you want to go deeper into this, I've got my sensual messages. I have a reading on Etsy about what would they say to you in a love letter. And then I have my one-on-ones that can be done through FaceTime or Skype, and also a video recorded reading if you don't want to meet me face to face. So check out those links below, and I hope this made you feel good and it resonated. Drop me a comment, share the video, like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you the next time for the next reading. Hello, my beautiful pile number 2s, and welcome to your reading. You have chosen the Phantom Tarot and this lovely piece of sodalite here. So right off the bat, I feel like you are seeking communication, and you just might get it from this person. Somebody's throat chakra is like screaming to me to be open. So let's see here. I will do your little confirmation first so you can decide whether or not this is indeed the pile for you. And oh, my first reading was so beautiful, so I feel like there's going to be some lovely messages here. If you're new to my channel, I had a little bit of a snafu. YouTube did not like me doing readings with sexual messages. So unfortunately, I will not be doing those here, but I do have them on my Etsy web shop. So if this resonates with you and you want to know what sensual messages this person would send you, head over there. I also have one where it's like what they would say in a love letter. So is this your person? You or your person could be a brunette or have brown hair. I also get that this person is pretty open and expressive. Yeah, look at this. Powerful energy. Scorpio calls to me here. Capricorn calls to me here. Leo calls to me here. That's by all means not a complete list of all the powerful signs of the zodiac, but I'm also getting Eastern European descent for someone, somebody who is royal in another life. And then we have markings. Yeah. Maybe this person has really unique tattoos. Maybe they are very exotic looking to you. Just something, maybe they have a nose ring or a septum ring. Anywho, that is kind of the general tonality of the person you're asking for. And of course, if these don't resonate, just give the messages a chance. Maybe there's something in there for you. Okay. So we're going to see what the Phantom Tarot has in store for us. Spirit. Pile number 2. What does pile number 2 want to say? So I'm going to pull all these. We have Justice. Look at this. This is a really powerful deck, you guys. So, ooh. This person is coming out swinging. We have the World upside down, and I will show these to you a little bit more in depth as we go along. Oh my goodness. We have the Wheel of Fortune. pull one more here. Oh my gosh. And the Emperor. I shuffled these, okay? It's so funny. My last pile was twin flame connection. Either you're going through like a massive shift in your life or you are a twin, because this is some strong energies. Every single one. Major Arcana. Okay. We have Justice clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. I'm choosing this one. Oh my goodness. We have the World upside down, clarified by the Queen of Cups. Insane. We have the Wheel of Fortune clarified by the Five of Pentacles in reverse. How interesting. And, the Emperor clarified by the Devil. This is crazy. I need to know who this person is. On the bottom, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse as well. So, wow, how does this person think of you? What is going on here? This might be one of the most wild, like, readings I've ever. Okay. So we have hung up on an X. What's this person thinking? How does this person think of you? We have crushing on you. And we have, I saw new beginning, but I'm not going to take it. This makes a lot of sense. We have just a friend. We have player. And we have life mate. Okay. I'm going to attempt to do this because this is pretty crazy. The Justice card may speak to a legal issue or, you know, at least it's upright. I feel like this is somebody who, they have no compromise. They are the boss. It's your world, it's their world, and you're just living in it. That is what this card gives me. And yet, they have the scales, but as you can see, the scales are on a sword. So this card is more like the Emperor card than the Justice card to me. And yet, we have the Emperor. The Emperor in this deck almost looks like a clown. It almost looks like somebody who got there not because they were the strongest, but because they were the smartest. This person could be a banker, they could be an entrepreneur, they could be, I don't want to get too crazy here into gender because of course, like, insert your pronouns where you will, but I'm getting that if you are inquiring about a man, or I should just say anybody really, this person has a sort of toxic relationship to the masculine. They do not believe that they fit into like what is typically idealistic in a man, like, and it's kind of caused them to be a little bit low-key-ish, and because they know they don't have the physical strength, they sort of use underhanded, maybe manipulative tactics to get what they want. But this doesn't actually make them feel that, like, fill the hole from that which is missing. This person is very complicated, and yet we have the Devil card here, so it's like this is their vice, playing with people and orchestrating and building an empire where, oh, I just like almost got something caught in my throat. I'm curious. It feels like right now this person is in a bit of toxic energy. They enjoy silencing other people so that they are unquestionable. It's really interesting right now. Okay, anyway, Justice clarified the Knight of Pentacles. Here we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is like a militant aspect in this deck. Almost like on a painted horse, on a carousel horse. This person plays a lot of games. They have a lot of fantasies. Sorry, I know I'm supposed to be giving you channeled messages here, but what's really coming to the forefront is a lot of stuff about their personality. If we look at the world, and these cards are also so detailed and beautiful here, I really feel like this person, all right, I'm just going to call it like I see it, and I'm sure the messages will come. They already feel like the world is a place where they are lost. And then here we are, we have this card upside down. So I do feel like they are finding their way. And I feel like it's because they are starting to embrace this feminine side, or maybe they're lucky enough to have a mother figure, or perhaps this is you even, to guide them. It's so hard to say this isn't a twin flame relationship, but if you resonate with this label, then proceed. And then again, the wheel and the world are next to each other. So this symbolizes good fortune and luck, but look how crazy and chaotic it is. It's almost like they feel like they're in this kind of apocalyptic time where nothing really makes sense, and there is no up or down, and there is no good or bad. It's survival, right? The Five of Pentacles, though, here's your ultimate, like, I feel like I've been kicked out of the curb card. And yet these people are entering the church. It feels like they do belong there. So this person is really like in the dark night of the soul, if you resonate with that label, where they are free falling and it feels so foreign and hard and terrible to them. They have no sense of like how to land or how to find equilibrium there. And yet the Seven of Swords on the bottom says, I'll just turn this card up right. There's so much to look at in these cards. Basically, like, all the things that you think are betrayals are in your head. So in a way, when you look at hung up on X and crushing on you, one of the biggest things I sense is that this person just got out of a fairly abusive relationship. Or maybe they're recognizing that that abusive relationship was one with their family, their mother, older brother, somebody who kind of used and twisted them. I always get readings like this from time to time. It's so interesting. So if I'm connecting with you, then, you know, I have a lot of compassion because you're dealing with some dark forces. And, you know, you can always hit the eject button. You don't have to hold this person's hand through the well of their experiences, especially if it hurts. But I do feel like this person does have feelings for you. Like they would tell you, I want to come towards you, I want to be with you, but only if it's on my terms. You know, you can be around me, you can be in my reality, but only if you bring the right energy, only if you're placid, only if we never fight, only if you never question my, not authority, but like actions. I'll stop there. That's not how to have a relationship. So if you resonate with the twin flame label, this person's at the very beginning of their journey. They probably haven't had the dark night of the soul yet. Or if they are, they don't realize that they're in it. There's something here about grappling for control, and it makes them not see that they already are home. They already do have a place to belong, that you are a welcoming, lucky, prosperous presence. You know, the Emperor and the Devil is a wild combination. It suggests somebody who's drunk with power, who, you know, doesn't even really want the responsibility of ruling sacredly. They just want to do whatever they want to do. They want to have sex whenever they want and with whomever. They want to spend money without thinking of who it hurts or who it impacts or how wasteful it might be. Um, yeah, whoever I'm connecting with, like, this is a really heavy, heavy energy. They're in the throes of depression. My head hurts just like reading this. It's really interesting. And then, if we were to look at these last cards as messages, it's basically like, if you're with me, if we do this, like if we have fun, we're doing it because like this person could be a drug addict too, or have addiction issues. We're doing it because chaos is where I feel safe, you know? When I think about making sense of my life, I'm overwhelmed. So a lot of these person's messages, like, they're not even really about you. They can't even make sense of their life at this point. But they know that they're attracted to you, and they know that you're somebody that's pleasing to them, pleasing to look at, pleasing to feel. I'm just not really sure if that's what you want or what's healthy, pile 2. So let's just go along with the twin flame theme here. If this person could tell you something from their heart, because this is a real, clarifying deck. Okay. We have, I know you're right, but I need to come to my own conclusions. So, if you chose pile 2 first, you might want to look at pile 1. In some ways, this is it's similar but different, but it could be an extension, maybe the shadow side of pile 1. Maybe we're just too different. Yeah. This person is like very concerned with just themselves at the moment. And then we have, please do not take what happened personally. It's you, not me. So you see these like glimpses of a higher soul trying to peek through the veil. And then of course we have, I just can't handle your words right now. So if you said something to this person, because pile 1 had an issue with rejection. This person isn't even ready to hear it. They're just so blocked for some reason, and we're going to find out why. Now, normally I would use the Vessel Oracle to do this, and again, if you are a twin flame, I do 2 twin flame readings on this channel. One of them is just like a general check-in, what the masculine's doing, what the feminine is doing, and the collective energies between them, and then the other one is more like this. It's called Divine Masculine Speaks. Insert your pronouns where you will. But it's like feeling, thinking, and then what move they're going to make next. So that's one of the readings that recurs quite often. But today I've decided to use the Samhain, Oracle deck. And we have grief. And this is just like the cherry on top. Like, of course it is. This person is grieving. It is a mere glimpse of nothingness hidden away within the chambers of your mourning and the red clover's birthing lost illusion. I'm gonna get quite raw here with you, I'll be honest. I think this person is dealing with a friend or a parent or somebody who may have committed suicide. I don't know why, but that just sort of feels like the energy here. And this person is so intensely afraid of love because it was the love of the person that took their life. It was because they were in love with someone. And either that love was not returned or that person had passed. They couldn't go on. And it's made your person feel so fearful that, I feel like that person's kind of an avoidant attachment anyway, but like so fearful that if they attach themselves to somebody, it will be taken away. And they're really not like this emperor. They're really, maybe they're non-conventionally attractive or there's something non-conventional about them, but they don't see that as a strength. They're trying to hide behind almost just like stereotypes they don't have, in order to stop feeling or accepting what is. Yeah, something like this is affecting that person right now. This is such a dark deck, you guys. Ooh, I got the goosebumps. This says, heed my warning, dear child, for what I hold is far from unsung lullabies. Swallow a nail and you can expect bleeding from within. This is a message for you. This is really difficult to hear. And we went from like a very bright and sunny reading to something so shadowy, which often happens here, I feel like I kind of hold space for the extremes in balance. But so we have number 20, which breaks down to partnership, number 2, and then we have 5. So it's kind of like, if you don't change something right now, if you don't change your relation to this person, they will poison you because they are poisoning themselves. So this is just something that I think you should be aware of before you proceed with caution, basically. And I do have a reading on my Etsy shop called Love Advice from Aphrodite. So if you want to know personally, maybe what you can do, that is available for you as well. And on the bottom here, we have All Hallows Eve. Number 1, call upon the voices that stir your senses through the night. Cast an unforgivable howl as you stomp your might through the ground. I'm going to have to detach myself from this energy, actually, just because it's like this person wants to crawl inside of me at the moment. Like, there's so much they want to say. There's so much they haven't expressed. I think that your salvation here is to develop a relationship with the arcane, with magic, with maybe even a little bit of the paranormal. Like, if you're not afraid to go here, like, just to feel how this person is feeling. And if they are your twin, of course, like, you're going to feel this energetically. But don't spend too much time here. Try to do things that uplift you. You do not need to take on this other person's pain. But, it could be interesting to have catharsis by visiting graveyards or developing a deeper relationship with your own loved ones that have passed, and maybe even talking to your family about the history of your family, or just something that can bring you closer to resolving unresolved matters as well is another one. I just think, there's nothing that you're going to be able to do to bring this person out of the darkness unless they want to. Pile 2, I really feel for you. Let's get one more message for you. Ooh. This is a timing deck. So we're going to see, like, will this person turn it around, and when? Yeah, okay. So we know this. The time is now number 8. Obviously, transformation is calling them. There's a massive heart opening that needs to happen. Okay. And then we have June, and we have another number 20. So I kind of feel like, yeah. Also, it could be related to the ex, It doesn't have to necessarily be like a deep, dark bereavement. It could be grieving someone who's alive. But I really feel like for most of you, it's something catastrophic, to put somebody in this sort of regressive energy. And they know somewhere that they're in it. But by June, it just kind of feels like there's going to be a small glimmer of light. Maybe this person will stay up and watch the sunrise and just realize something about the energy in which they've been resonating in, maybe and say, this doesn't feel good. I do want to sort of do something different and feel like better, essentially. Oh my. So this is what I have for you, pile 2. I also get kind of the sense that you'll reconnect next fall, or this person will reach out, or you'll be reminded them of something like this. But again, proceed with caution. Actually, you know what? We can see whether or not they will reach out. Which at this point, like, why? But I get it. You know, if you want to hear from them, then they'll tell you that you're okay. They're okay. Yeah, so we have ghosting you. Like I said, don't just let this person be. We have give you a gift. And we have going back to an ex. So like, this person doesn't know what they want. They're waffling between what makes them feel comfortable and what they know is actually best for their soul. So just be careful, because it's going to feel like hot and cold and very inconsistent, and like one day they're going to give you a present because they know you like this, and then the next day you're going to catch them doing something that is very unpartnery like, or very just not good for them in general. So I hope this made sense, and I hope it resonates, and I hope that you've come here to hear these hard truths, because I don't sugarcoat my readings. And sometimes we do need to hear it. So don't shoot the messenger, but I am definitely willing to go deeper with you. So I hope you enjoyed the reading. Please subscribe to my channel. There will be more readings. Share this video with someone who might be able to benefit, and let me know if it resonated down in the comments as well. So I'm wishing you all the luck with your connection, pile 2. I hope it gets better, and I hope you are taking care of yourself as well. And I will see you next time for the next reading. Hi, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. Oh my god. I had to leave the room and like physically reset my energy after pile 2. It was crazy. Sometimes, you know, as readers, like, we encounter all different kinds of energy, and, you know, a client will come and will be in a difficult time, and it's like one of those things where it's like, you know, immediately as you read the cards, you're like, run. But you've got to be, no, I don't sugarcoat my readings, but, you know, temper the messages, because somebody's in a crisis, basically. So anyway, I am hoping that your pile here will be much more uplifting and lighthearted. So thanks again to my new subscribers. I have a lot of different ways to do readings. If this resonates with you, I suggest taking a look at my Etsy shop. That is the most affordable way to do things, and I will explain a little bit more about that later. For now, we'll do your check-in. So, your person may or may not be female, and they may or may not be blonde. You could be blonde. You could be someone that wears their hair in a ponytail or likes dark, smoky makeup. Who doesn't? The second indication this pile could be for you is that you are asking about a nicely dressed person. This person could have a white-collar job, or they just really like wearing suits. They like to look put together when they go out. Leo energy represented here. Capricorn maybe too. I'm also hearing Aries. That may or may not resonate. And then we have medium skin tone. This is an interesting deck. This is a Who Is It deck. This person could be somebody from a foreign country, or somebody who, yeah, I guess, you know, in general, the closer you get to the equator, the more melanin you have. So that could be an interesting combination here. So I feel like this person is very striking looking. Perhaps not somebody, if you're like, you know, you'd find a doppelganger of anywhere else in the world, and they sound like a powerhouse. They really know how to put themselves together and work well with it. But pronouns don't matter here. Insert your pronouns where you will. We are here to get messages from this person, and our opalite coffin here suggests transformation and transmutation. So good things are ahead. I'm going to give these a little riffle shuffle. This is my first time using this deck. I don't know what to expect, but when I saw it online, I just loved the artwork. And I think it's quite fitting for our semi-dystopian society at this point. So I'm just going to pull all the cards first and then clarify them. This is the Four of Arms. Interesting. I'm going to have to look at whether that's wands or swords. I have a feeling we will figure out. And then we have the Apprentice of Arms. Arms here. Very interesting. Let's keep going. We have the Eight of Zent, which is Pentacles. I guess that's the money in this world. And I don't know about you, but there are some tarot readers that really do not like going away from the traditional Rider-Waite, like Pentacles, Cups sort of situation. But I've been reading now for a while, so I consider it kind of a challenge. And then this one is Strength. Sorry, I didn't read that. Yeah, I haven't seen a deck quite like this one. It's very unique. So clarifying the Four of Arms here, we have the Five of Arms. Oh, that's always interesting when you see that in succession. Clarifying the Apprentice of Arms, we have Agent Vals. Well, I'm really gonna have to look at the book for this one. And also the World card did come up as well. Let's keep that in mind. Clarifying the Eight of Zent, we have Judgment, and it says 20 in the corner. And then clarifying Strength, we have the Six of Arms. Whew. And on the bottom, yeah, I'm really gonna have to look at the deck on this one. We have 10, whatever this is. Okay, so I figured this out. This deck, I think, is quickly becoming one of my favorites. In this deck, the Pentacles are Zents. The Cups are Vials. So this is the Agent of Vials, or the Apprentice of Arms, okay? And then Wires are Fire, Wires are Wands, and Arms are Swords. Really kind of see that back there. Okay, cool. So on the bottom is the Ten of Vials. Come on. Yeah. Oh, wow. And then, just like I did with the other piles here, I just want to know, like, what is your relationship to this person? Like, how does this person think of you in this moment? We have Just for Right Now. I saw Feelings for You on the bottom. We have Very Compatible, and we have Just Like a Friend, or like Little Bro or Sis. So what I kind of feel like, without diving too much into your situation, is like this person doesn't realize that you're crushing on them, or like this person doesn't realize you could be a good match for whatever reason, and we'll find out when we look into these cards. Like, they just see you as a friend. So it might not be the end of the story in particular, but it is kind of like the energy that they're in at this point. For whatever reason. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this. So we have the Four of Arms here, and of course arms are swords. Yeah, so typically this is that card where you'll find that person meditating under a tree, and they don't realize that the last cup has been handed to, oh, sorry, that's the cups. Well, maybe there's a message there. This is traditionally the Rest card with the swords, and you can see that this person is meditating. And then if we clarify this by the card that comes exactly after it, the Five of Arms is somebody ready to fight. So it kind of feels like this person right now, if they could say something to you, it would be like, I don't want to get in a relationship, and this is just like a general you too, because I don't want to lose my cool. Like, relationships are destabilizing. Eventually there's going to be a fight, and then like there's going to be winners and losers. This person has like, do you know the term splitting? They see things in black and white. And I feel like it's because their childhood was like very chaotic. Um, so they've adopted some measures to try to deal with that, namely like meditation or yoga, or they recognize that, you know, the world is on this kind of train to mindfulness and, you know, eating better and thinking clear, and they want to be a part of that train. Basically, they're on a road to self-discovery and self-mastery, and they don't really see that romance can be a part of that. It's really interesting. And this card also in particular, like, I feel like they may have grown up in a neighborhood or in a time where they really felt like they had to defend themselves. This could be somebody who's into martial arts or loves reading graphic novels or watching dystopian stories where, like, you know, somebody just pointed this out to me at dinner tonight, where it's like, it's not too much about the interpersonal relationships in the same way like romance novels are, or of course, or you know, these are about world building, and I feel like that's kind of where this person, like, where do I belong in the world, is their sort of focus. So then we have the Apprentice of Arms. I am going to say that, why is my camera not focusing? This is probably the page, but we're gonna make sure here. Okay, thanks for bearing with me. Agent is Knight. So we have the Apprentice in this deck is the Page, the Agent is the Knight, the Supervisor is the Queen, and the Executive is the King. So really interesting. So the Page of Swords, and then the Knight of Cups, or Vials here. This is a really beautiful imagery. So let's see. So we have these messaging about relationships. Yeah, I just feel like this person is somebody who will kind of go kicking and screaming. They have this kind of dual nature about them. They seem very placid on the surface, but underneath is kind of this bubbling, passionate person that I feel like you're very attracted to. I definitely see that. I see why. And there's also like a push-pull with a mature energy and a juvenile energy as well. So you catch this person. This is somebody who will want to do everything or really loves variegated plans, and then maybe sometimes gets burned out and doesn't realize what they really wanted was to sit home and do nothing. So it just kind of feels like they're bouncing back between two extremes right now, actually. And I think their message to you at this point is like, I need time, like I'm burned out. If this is somebody that you know really well, like this is a friend that you want to turn into something more, it's not you. Like they're literally just going through a phase of their life where they're trying to figure out their purpose, and they want to do it by themselves. It's like going out on some kind of midnight maraud or masquerade. They want to be anonymous about it. They want to have this secret side of them, like that they keep to themselves and is private and that nobody knows about. This person could definitely be into the KINK community. I won't say that here, as YouTube will ban me, but if you like readings like that, by the way, check out my Etsy web shop. I did do a Sensual Messages reading here for a while, but I fear that Etsy felt that that was inappropriate and pornographic, I think their words were, just because there was nudity in the cards. So anywho, that's why we're not doing that anymore. But yeah, there's this energy of like, and the message here is kind of like, back off. Like, let me go do what I have to do And it's not just directed towards you, I should say. Like, I need to do this for myself, for my own power, for my own authenticity kind of type thing. And then we have the 8 of Zent here. Really interesting. Kind of feels a little stock markety, a little Batman-y. This person is definitely gathering information about like how to get the life that they want. I think they are probably stalking you on social media a little bit as well. If they see you as part of their inner circle, like they want to take you on this ride with them. There are things that they want to do by themselves. It's for their own personal reclamation, and so that they can feel like they did it all by themselves. They can get the credit. And then this is Judgment. So there's a message here where it's like, I'm on borrowed time. This person, yeah, we saw something similar with pile 2, where like the messages weren't necessarily love messages, but of course, we're gathering information about this person. We want to know what's going on with them, and it's just kind of like, this is somebody who also perhaps is a workaholic, burns himself out at work, and then kind of comes home and feels like this non-human type thing. Or maybe the opposite is true, where it's like they have to pull off their lizard skin and become human again when they come home. But Judgment is all about an awakening. So it also feels like there's this message of like, I recognize what I'm doing for myself is not sustainable. And I think you probably said something to them where like you were the voice of reason or something, and maybe that's also kind of like why they're putting you in this category. I do see for some of you, this person does know that you would be very compatible. They're just not focused on relationships right now. They're focused on growth. They're focused on progress. It's like, especially if you're dealing with an older person, like in their 30s, like somebody said to me yesterday, like in your 20s, like you're in a completely different place. You're like, anything goes. I'm not really sure what I want to do, so we can do this together. Let's all come do this together. And there's a lot more freedom and a lot more play and less pressure, I think, as you get older, up to a certain point, especially with career stuff. There's a lot of pressure. And this person is putting pressure on themselves, probably because they changed careers, or maybe they were a late bloomer. There's just something here where they have to prove a lot to themselves. They don't feel like anybody would want to be with them. This is very Capricorn, by the way. Anybody would want to be with them until they're the best version of themselves. We have strength here, and I love this. See, this character is looking into the mirror and seeing the lion within, but his outside reality doesn't really reflect that. It's almost like, again, like a reclaiming of power. Like this person also could have been a victim of like a hate crime or something in the past, where like this is why they want to fortify their house. They want to get into martial arts or learn better ways to defend themselves and their assets, because somebody has taken something from them in the past. And then we have the 6 of Arms here, which is so many swords. Like air is a prominent quality here. You could be an air sign, they could be an air sign. That's Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. And I do get big Gemini energy from this reading, where it's like this person seems duplicitous. You're not really sure if they're two-faced or not, or if they just really like variety. I have a Gemini moon, so I feel you. Not always the easiest of people to read or get along with, but the 6 here definitely speaks to, smoothing something over. If you had a fight with this person recently, like they know that they barked at you and it was like a very exaggerated reactive response to somebody who was just trying to be a friend, just trying to be there for them. So an apology will probably be on the way. And I do want to check the timing on all of this. I do feel like something is going to shift. It's just a matter of when. And we have number 54. It's happening now. So that breaks down to a 9. So this shift is already happening, which is really cool. This person has probably got like a good stroke of luck. It almost feels like, to some extent, like they won the lottery of something, and they feel like it's whatever they've been doing, it's time that's well spent. We have the twos here, so I feel like the tide might be turning. Like when this person thinks, like, they get lonely at night, first of all, and when they think about like who they would want by their side, like who's a ride or die, like who, it's you, right? So again, check my Etsy shop if you want a personalized reading of like maybe what this person is sensually thinking about late at night. That's always fun. But it does kind of feel like they're daydreaming about, what they're going to do with all this money. Like, we'll go to, you know, Bali, or we'll go to the Caribbean. And I think they stop themselves because they know that at the end of that daydream, there's like natural chemistry that's happening here. And I think they're scared a little bit that, like, if they turn this into something that's more than just a friendship, like, will it last? Will it destroy the friendship? You know? And our last card says, have patience, it's not time yet. And this is creation energy. It's a 30, it breaks down to a 3. So I do feel like you're part of this person's plan. I want to know what they're going to do if they do reach out. Like, how are they going to reach out? Just because that's always interesting. Waiting for an apology. Yeah, didn't I say something about apology here? Like, they overreacted. But it kind of feels like, I really like what you guys have going on. And then we have texting you. And I say this because this is why the cards and the universe feel like you're very compatible. You guys are just two people that are like two peas in a pod. Like, you're very similar people. So when one of you screws up, like, the other one is doing the same thing, because you both kind of, it's almost like Aries and Aries will appreciate this because they're so headstrong. And you have two headstrong, passionate people in a relationship. Well, when you light a match to gas, like, what happens, And then you both shrug it off and laugh and say, haha, well, we're both Aries people, and that's why we are the way we are. I feel like there's something like that with you guys, where there's no real damage or real hard feelings, because you recognize you could be two avoidant people. I don't know, or two anxious people, something like that. Like, your attachment styles are the same, where like you recognize, oh, I do the same things, So that's kind of cool. More messages here. And I will say this, like, I choose my decks on the spot, like whatever is calling to me. So each reading really is tailored to the energy. When in this case it's collective energy, but of kind of like where things are going. Ooh. Backstabbing, heartbreak, pain, separation, loss, deception, lies, and shocking attack. Interesting. This person could be with somebody that's not like really great for them, and they could be going through that breakup right now. That could be something that's happening. That could always be the reason, like, they want to keep you around to be that safe person, even though they're attracted to you. They could have wounding from an ex in the past, and that's why, they're stopping themselves from exploring that compatibility. We have the dragonfly, lighthearted and adapt, finding out change, and things coming to light and healing. And I mean, again, like, I really feel like that is what's happening now. And you will know, like, when this person reaches out to you, I feel like they're very measured, they know themselves quite well on a certain level, where they're not like malicious. They're not just going to use you, basically. When they say things, they are true, even if they're a little blunt. So this person could be waiting an apology from that person to get closure. They could also be, realizing that they owe you an apology as well. There's just some kind of cycle that's ending here. I feel like this person is ending their own trauma or drama related to somebody. And
that healing is going to translate and shift something in your relationship. And then we have picture, looking at pictures missing you. Yeah, like for some of you, it could be like you went through a breakup and this person is just telling people, oh, they're just my friend, they're whatever. If that's the case, then they're doing it to protect you. They don't want anyone else to be with you. But for the majority of us here, it's like, I don't want to lose this relationship. If I cross the border and this becomes more than friendship, like, will our fights hurt more? Will it be damaging to us? There's just like a lot of feelings. This person has a lot of feelings for you, basically. But they might not know because they're too busy like contextualizing their life in the 3D. And then we have Phoenix, new phase, rekindle, renew, growth, changed mind, rise from the ashes. So I really do think that this person is going to have a change of heart. On the bottom of this deck, we have want you to make the first move. So if they text you, don't be afraid to be the person that takes the initiative here and like says, hey, this sounds great. You want to go out on a date? And then this person would be like, what? Feigning innocence, like, I hadn't thought about us that way before. If you make the first move in a strong manner, this person will respond. They won't back down. They won't have anywhere to hide, basically. And I think this is somebody that really, really, really could not eat up compliments enough because they just don't see themselves as worthy somewhere. And especially if you guys connect on these things, science fiction, hunting, martial arts, like I said, or you're just two boss people that enjoy making money and putting that fruits of your labor towards your dreams, letting this person know that you love them as a friend, but you are also somebody who has interest in them in different ways will open that door and give you the possibility to grow this into something really cool and special and fun and rewarding. This person just has to get over the fear of heartbreak, separation, pain, loss. And then, like all of us have baggage with relationships, any things that you didn't see coming, and potentially getting in a relationship with a manipulative person that could be a part of your person's past. And realizing after a while, because time is really the great equalizer, like, you're not like that, you're different. And even if sometimes you run into the same situations, they're not coming from the same root. You want the best for them. So that is what I have for you here. I hope you enjoyed your reading. I really like this deck. It's a little out there, but it's good. If you enjoyed it, please drop a heart down in the comments, share the video with someone you love, like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell because you won't probably see any videos unless you do. And do check out my Etsy shop. For those of you who want a face-to-face reading, I will link that below. It can be done through FaceTime or Skype. And there's also an option to do a video reading. So if you don't want to bare your soul to a complete stranger, you can have me read for you just like this, and I will send you a video to your email inbox. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time for the next reading. Bye for now.